Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. This time a review of set 10355, the Blacktron Renegade. This is a remake of the Blacktron Renegade that released in 1987. So continuing Icon's, sort of thing of remaking older sets in modern Lego style, while still staying true to sort of the original set. Comes with 1,151 pieces. The original set had less than 300 at release, and it retails for $100. So I really like this box art. It's quite nice. Obviously, it's still sort of the 18 plus, black box with, a bit of color, but I like the text for the name, and then I really like the blue with like the grid pattern in it. Just kind of is sci-fi to me, On the bottom here, it says 1 to 2 people, so I guess, you partner group building. If you wanted to. On the side, it shows one of the mini ships, or a couple of the mini ships, I suppose. Then on the back, it shows the features plus an alternate build. So you can have a sort of walker, 2 walkers kind of, instead of the ship if you want. It shows the dimensions right there, 18.5 inches long, 11.5 inches wide, so pretty big. And then on the top shows the figure in scale, as well as some of the accessories and little ships they come with, and a little robot as well. So let's get this thing open on the back here with push tabs. Okay, now that we have it open, it looks like there's quite a few bags here. Looks to be about maybe 7 bags. Yeah, so less than I expected, but they seem to all be bigger bags, so I like that, Still no paper bags, which is interesting. Those have been promised for a while. They're right there, making our packaging more sustainable. So I've yet to see paper bags. Obviously, eventually they're coming, and I know in other places they've gotten them. But 2 instruction manuals, one here for the little the cockpit, and then the little ship, and then the rest of the ship gets a bigger instruction manual. So on the back here, that's the one thing with 18 plus sets. No fun stuff in the back. Just boring stuff. But anyway, let's get this set built, and we'll get it reviewed. Alright, now that the set is built, I would like to first make a few corrections to what I said in the intro. I first said that the instruction manual had nothing in it. I did not realize it did have, similar to the Galaxy Explorer, stuff in the beginning talking about, why they chose the set, or not why they chose the set, but what sets are being remade here. They mentioned that it's 1.5 times bigger than that original set, and other stuff like that. And throughout the instructions, they also had little tidbits about the Blacktron lore, I guess, kind of, you would say, but related to the set. So I was wrong on that, on saying there was nothing in it. And the other thing was the alternate build, I think is a remake as well of an older set, and it's actually meant to be a ship on a landing pad, not a chicken walker, like I kind of thought it was. So I was wrong on those 2 things, but I'm making the correction now. But anyway, getting to the figures themselves. They are the exact same as the one that came with the Blacktron Cruiser, which is, of course, the exact same as the figure that came out in the 80s with these original sets. But they look very nice. They're very simple. Just some white, vest printing, I guess, some detailing. the classic Lego smiley face for the head, and then behind the oxygen tank, they do have just a bit more printing, just continuing on that harness onto the back. I like the figures. They're very nice. Obviously, very simple because, you know, they're replicating that 80s figure, which was obviously very simple back then as well. So, you know, they did a good job with that. I mean, I don't own the original 80s figure, but I've seen the pictures and they look pretty much one-to-one. Maybe I'd see some differences if I had the original figure in real life, but as far as I can tell, it's the exact same, and I think it looks very nice. There's also this little robot, which is apparently like maybe a dark version of an original like robot as well from the 80s. They make mention of that, like, yeah, a Blacktron version of a standard support robot with the 6952 solar power transporter. So, a reference to, I assume that's an old classic space set, not a Blacktron set, like they say. But, you know, it's got some antenna. It can move, you know, up and down, so you can sort of sit it down a little bit. Some arms. Basic little robot, obviously. Moving on to the set itself. Starting up front here is obviously the cockpit, which everything on these, like, 4 things are all detachable. The engines, this thing, and the cockpit. So pulling off the cockpit first, looks very good, looks very nice. Very seamless with the cockpit glass and all that. Like, there's like no gaps that I can see at all. So I always like that. The Galaxy Explorer was the same, like no gaps at all, and it's always very nice. It's got the logo up front with, I assume, a gun on the bottom here, blaster, whatever. And then 2 seats instead of 1, which the original had, and then some printed control panels as well for the 2 pilots, and then some joysticks as well for control. And it's very simple, obviously, to put them in. You know, you just sit them down, and then they pop right in there, and you can recline them back into the seat, right? Like that, you know, very easy, very simple, and it's in there. Next is like a transmitter, is what they say. It's a little transmitter as well. Kind of just, I feel, is there just to round out the build. Like, it's not a big thing. It's just there to not leave that exposed. But looks nice anyway. And that is the landing gear falling down. Then in the back, the engines, which look very good. As well. Very basic, very simple, but it's all very nice looking. Pull them off, you know. Very good, very nice. And obviously, like I said, you can sort of attach everything through here. They all use the same method of attachment. So if you want, you can put the cockpit right there, put an engine up here, and swap the transmitter to over here, and now you've got, you know, a different looking ship, at least somewhat. So I think I will end up keeping it just as the instructions in the box have. I think that is the nicest way to view it, but either way, you know, you can mix and match. I think that's fun. I like that is a feature. And then there is some fuel canisters here that I think are very reminiscent of a mini kit from the Lego games, just in red instead of white. And then there is some detachable crafts here, just like how the Galaxy Explorer had some detachable ones. But those ones obviously served as engines, but very easy to pop off. They're just on some one studs right there, so not hard to get off. And then you can actually sit someone in there. So you know, you do that like so. Well, yeah, you should be able to fit someone in here. Let me just get it in there. And yeah, I guess not sit, you can stand someone in there, but And, you know, it's a little craft for them, and I think it looks nice. You know, it's just small, it's simple, but it's good. It's fun. Just like the Galaxy Explorer one. And then another thing about this is it's a very sturdy build. I feel I can grab it from pretty much anywhere, and other than you can't flip it upside down because the fuel things are loose, but other than that, like, you take the fuel things out, I feel you flip it around, you know, shake it around a bit, and nothing should pop off. Like, even these connections, which are meant to be able to come off, like, they're not loose on there. It is a solid connection. But then, last big feature is it can be a drop ship, so you can actually, you gotta twist this thing, and then it drops down. You can lift the ship up, and now you've got a little rover as well that can obviously seat someone. Flipping that down, and I think the original set had just like a motorbike, so obviously this is a big upgrade. You can store some guys in the back. You know, these are some weaponry and some more printed control panels as well with a steering wheel. And I mean, you know, it rolls obviously very well. And then to pop it back in, you just simply put the ship above it and then slide it down, and then it's in there solidly. Like, you can shake it loose eventually, but for, you know, if you're not trying to actively strain it and you're just trying to lift it, it'll do just fine. It'll stay in there. You know, I'm swooshing it around. Doesn't even shake. You have to, like, actively shake pretty hard, which I don't think, you know, no one's gonna do. No one's gonna be shaking at it like crazy. The last thing, and this is the only sort of criticism I have, is I like the landing gear. You can see the landing gear here. But they are kind of difficult to pull out. Because the Galaxy Explorer, again, similarly had these really nice retractable landing gear, but they came out, like, a lot smoother. These ones, my God, okay. Here's a landing gear. You gotta, like, really dig your finger in there, and, I mean, I don't know, maybe if you had smaller fingers, it would be fine, but for me, like, I gotta, like, dig my finger against the Lego, and it kind of hurts. Like, it's not comfortable. Obviously, it's not, like, a ginormous deal, but it's kind of a pain. You know, luckily, I'm not going to be messing with the landing gear too much, so it's not something I have to worry about, per se, but I don't know. Like, that's the one thing where I'm like, I wish it was, like, a little better in there. Now, last thing is I do want to compare it to the Galaxy Explorer, so, you know, I have that out here, and the Blacktron Cruiser, so here they are all together. And, you know, taking it off the stand, I think, so you can see the size better. They are, you know, equivalently, I think the Galaxy Explorer is longer, but I think it had a few bigger pieces sort of helping that out. But they're both very nice looking. They go together very well, I think, obviously, as opposing sides. And then there's also the Blacktron Cruiser, which I have, which I think looks very nice as well. I think the Blacktron Cruiser, if I remember, had about 400 pieces. It was equivalent to like a $40 set, obviously as a gift with purchase. So yeah, all in all, very, very nice. Definitely, if you are a fan of the Galaxy Explorer or the Blacktron Cruiser and you have $100, I think this is an easy no-brainer. Pick up the Renegade. It is really phenomenal. And I am really hoping that LEGO does more classic space remakes, because at the end of the instruction booklet they did mention another set with the transmitter when you put it on, the 6987 message intercept base. So, you know, they've made 3 ships now. 1 gift with purchase, 2 to purchase. So maybe, I don't know how often they'll do these, so maybe next year, you know, sort of a once a year thing, we can get like a base thing, you know, a bit more of a location thing to go with the ships. I think that would be really cool. That's obviously a Blacktron set, so I mean they could also do some more classic space stuff. There's plenty of classic space stuff to do. There's a good chunk of Blacktron stuff to do. So, you know, here's hoping that they do more, because I really like the 3 that they have done. They are, especially the 2 proper sets. The gift with purchase, the cruiser is nice, but especially the 2 proper sets, they're really fantastic, and I hope they do more. But that is all I have for today. You enjoyed the video, you want to see more LEGO related content, leave a like, subscribe, do all that, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.